Thanks for joining us. Okay. Um, so yeah, soul recycling. So it is what it sounds like. I'm not sure if that's even heard that often, or I don't know. Just either way, not that this is the first place that's been heard. Probably not. But yeah, soul recycling. It sounds like it's a nice, lovely experience. And also the soul trap. You probably heard that one before. And Klaus Schwab, or Economic Forum, energy to channel his higher self, and so he can experience evil on this Tuesday morning. Even I'm trying to talk, I can't even do it. Jeez. To kind of go backtrack a little bit. So he's like an insectoid energy. Yeah, an Orion energy. Kind of a soul sucking individual, of course. And well, what's my gun done? I think I'm getting blocked as I'm talking about it. I don't think he's like one of the elite. Like he's like I mean, he's up there for sure, but he's like a mouthpiece of it. And obviously, he's like living the life, being old, wealthy, and just a creature. He does a lot of mind control around people because he knows he can use them as pawns. That's the vibe I'm getting from him. Well, some just give away their energy to him. God, you think like Warren Buffett is bad? This guy's far worse. Of course, Warren Buffett comes up as a nice guy. It's like whatever. Who knows what that's about? Yeah, that's not the best energy, but whatever. But Klaus Schwab, I feel like he's doing good to the world, of course, bringing us to the next level, wherever that's going to be. So yeah, he's the one that talks about the agendas before they happen. So yeah, it's his job. Not that they're going to get 100% and all that. They're going to have issues. So I think it's over 100%. So the soul recycling obviously is what it sounds like. Ouch. That sounds worse than soul trap. I mean, you're here, your soul is here. On a inside, not everybody, but quite a few over here on a recycling trip for the next 1,000 years or whatever it is. And you might even be aware of it. You become aware of it, and you don't have to experience it anymore. You can work towards not doing it, but the soul recycling is a lot more complicated, where as what you sound, you're kind of like you're fragments of other people and you're broken down. I always say some of these spiritual groups that are completely lost, like channeling people have crossed over and kind of, manipulating that energy. And some of the audience members there are I guess there was recycled fractal energies lost. Just this is their gig. There's also the I talked about this before, the demonic realms, where this is their world too. Just like Lucifer. And they come here, want to have money. They're not getting what they want either. They're always tearing each other apart. It's kind of like the Anunnaki, but far worse. They're talking about money or whatever it might be, and just ripping each other to shreds. Usually at a lower frequency, but they usually look at themselves as positive. So that's the twist of it. They see themselves as good. They might be tortured, but they still feel like they're a good person, even if they're a nightmare to be around. So there's another way of looking. It's very complicated. Well, somewhat. Not all the demonic beings are like that. Some of them are just, they just have bad habits and can't get their act together. Doesn't mean they want to harm anybody. But there's other demonics that just they harm. I don't know, just like beings of chaos. So yeah, it's but yeah, so the soul trap, yeah, it just gets recycled in, um, and you call it normal, but you can actually live a normal life, wherever normal is, but your average common person. But some of them are more sane than the spiritual community. As I noticed that. Yeah, because at least the spiritual community, there's a lot of the becoming aware of the astral wars that's going on. That are insane. Elohim energy is always different groups trying to tear each other apart. Lovely. You see that here in the human form. So yeah. Yeah, if a lot of the cathedrals or the churches were shut down or like their power deactivated, good luck with that. You might see a change here because that's part of the soul trap energy for sure. That's a contributor, not it plays a part. Those are chasing Jesus a lot. They want to make Jesus happy. That's the vibe I'm getting. And they just can't seem to stop trying him to save them or whatever it might be that's going on there. Jeez. So yeah, this is the best. Jeez. All right, yeah, this is way to kick off the week. Let's see here. The banking stuff, who knows? It's in limbo currently. Yeah, just had a shooting in Nashville, which is too bad. It's just a soul hijacking, and there's entities involved with that, obviously, but the person kind of gave into their demons. That's when the demonic realms, they blame aliens for it. The demonic realms take somebody and just attack them constantly and just drive them insane. That's part of it. Not always government. Government's not that sophisticated. I mean, they do stuff, but they're not that smart. They're dealing with their own problems, obviously, themselves. Okay. All right, so I'm talking common prayer sessions. We have a scheduler, we have a shop here, the webinar, social network, behind the scene. So is the archive. That's behind the scenes. It's the archive. I have to fix the page because it's loading like everything. I don't know if that's jeez. No wonder the page isn't loading very fast. Jeez. All right, so it's up to 220, 22. Getting somewhere. It's a lot, and some of the years are kind of mixed up somehow. But oh well, it doesn't really matter. It's something. So okay, soul recycling. That's one subject matter I forgot about, but probably best for tomorrow anyway. It's kind of a repeat of yesterday's with John Malkovich. Yeah, that's there's something else about that. I can't remember it. Something came to mind and mentioned. Oh yeah, the John Malkovich movie also has to do with the whole thing about having John Malkovich have a hole in his energies, people to possess him. Has to do with an old man that's been living forever, and he has other friends that are old also, so they've just been living forever, and they take over a soul or a body. You can say take over the body. Yeah, and so they chose John Malkovich, and then they choose somebody else, and they map out their lives. It's kind of creepy when you think about it. There's definitely realities where it's definitely happening. Maybe not exactly like that, but jeez. Life's a mystery. Yeah. Find out, family members have been possessed by other beings and all that. Well, even kids, like the kid, you can have a kid, and the kid's a good kid up to a certain point, where the darker kid comes through, like another version of him comes through, and that's the one that needs to be here and get their act together. It's another way of looking at it. So, yeah, they just don't want to go through all the birthing process and all that. And yeah, like I said, miscarriages, some souls, that's as far as they want to go. That's as close they want to go to all this. A lot of a lot of energy beings don't really want the human experience. We're kind of complicated. Having the eyes and all that. I'm just have no face. So yeah, we're I don't know for the future generation of anything, but anyway, we're complicated. So, all right, okay, so soul recycling, that's going to be fun. Jeez, fragments of other beings. Jeez. Soul Trap and Klaus Schwab. The villain. Yeah, I hear about George Soros, but Schwab, he's quieter about. He influences too. I don't think you'll see him as like the media, the enemy in the media. Soros seems to be the villain there. Soros just agreed to it. There's others behind him. He's just the front man. So whatever. You gotta blame somebody. So okay, all right, here we go. Blessings. Grease you. Yeah, the consciousness of soul recycling. There is reptilian energies involved with this. It has to also do with your Atlantean energies, where the Atlanteans lost their power here. They fragmented basically the human race, where everything, the world turned into chaos. Where, energy beings got pulled into the earth, like those that would die here. Their fourth dimensional self would fragments of themselves would die here, and they'll be pulled into the earth's frequency. Become a tree, become weather, become some element of the consciousness there. It's not just human. Now, you might connect to the tree consciousness for a while, and eventually you'll evolve into the human consciousness. It all depends on what you're attracted to. You move from one place to the other. You can say the human is the highest achievement because it is a way out, because you can be connected to nature and never be able to free yourself. Now, obviously, there's aspects of nature that are very attractive, beautiful energies, but there's also many that are energy beings are stuck here for whatever reason. They just, they find this world astrally and they get lost. A lot of souls that don't know what this place is still. So they get pulled into the vacuum. And you see that, like, the intelligence is cut off, where they're kind of just guiding through life. And yes, they can win at life also very easily. Well, as long as, it's like being on a merry-go-round, where they just find their seat on a merry-go-round and just go around and around. They find their seat in life and just go around in the system until they figure out where they are. Because yes, you can go on a lifetime after lifetime having no idea. Yes, you go in the spirit realm, the version of it that's been told to you, and that can be a fake version. Yes. If you're listening to this, most likely you're not going to buy into any of that. Yes, you can go to a fake version in the spirit realm. That's part of the manipulation. See Jesus, sees different whoever it is, and some people do create that themselves. So you're worried about those that some worry about when they die and where they go. Realize you create that reality. If you get stuck there, that's in the afterlife. That's most likely something you created yourself. You might blame others for it, but your own insecurities, whatever it might be. It's like you might see the spirit realm and find that not very interesting, so you create your own. Now, how long that lasts, it can go on for a long time, but eventually, it's like here you see little gaps in your reality, and you go into the spirit realm, same deal. So if you created that reality, eventually you will find your way out. Maybe because you can be stuck there too, like a false version of it. Now you put your intentions up for that to happen, and fear is as many of you know, it's like there must be something going on with this planet why so many souls are getting reincarnated because there is. It's devised to keep souls here. And many of you, yes, go into spiritual development and evolve, and obviously you're here to break the lid open just of your soul trap that's here. And someone to have all the knowledge, SSPs, whatever it is. And that's the reality they create for themselves. But really, when it comes down to it, can you break yourself free of this earth? Now, this world has been, if it serves you well and gives you what you want, and it's like, okay, I can do this again and again and again, and many do. So, yeah, if you had that one thing, you'll come back. You'd be surprised how often that happens. Yes, you might have left the earth, even gone to a more accurate spirit realm, wherever that is. But there can still be fragments of your energy here that reincarnated, yes. For whatever reason. Family members might hold on to you. Family members can be very vicious, not intentionally negative, but they can't let go. So there might be an aspect of you, like all of a sudden now they feel like the dog they just bought has grandpa's energy, which might be some of yours, or grandmother's, etc. Because that can also be yours. And someone did that. It's not always your choice. So it's good to be aware of these things. Yes, pull your energy back to yourself. But soul recycling is just as many fragmental energy beings. And some of them call them spirit guides. You can have recycled spirit guides. Recycled energies from other people, yes, and be lost here for a very long time. So the soul recycling is very, yes, extreme. Soul trap's different. Soul recycling, some of them, because you have fragments of yourself here, it's hard to release that. It's hard to break free. Now, some of you are going to do that, yes. Most have no idea what we're talking about and just turn the other way. Doesn't mean they're a part of it, but some of them don't have a problem with it. It's like, I'm glad I'm here. I'll stay here as long as I can. So, soul recycle me all you want. There's a lot of that, actually. Some just aren't ready to let this world go, as probably some of you have seen. Brings you there, the soul trap, consciousness, well, connected to your earth. Your mother earth is not involved with that. That has to do with contracts that have been manipulated, revoked. The soul trap energy has to do with galactic wars, spirit wars. And some of you come here, some of you probably can pick up on chaotic energy in the spirit realms at times. It's not all of the spirit realm. There are fragments of that. You see stars become dwarf stars and things of that kind. So there is difficulties out there. And many do get pulled into soul traps due to, yes, an enemy attack, you can say. And yes, become a slave of the system. And you can say the soul trap is involved with your monetary system, your job system, the worker reality that's here. It's just, but there's some positives to it because some souls that get pulled into the worker realities, some of them need it. You need a reality check well, I didn't think a world like this existed. So sometimes you experience it. And some actually get a lot out of it. Some just end up bitter, especially when you're doing something you don't enjoy. But they can find something they can enjoy and actually release themselves from this soul, prison. Is it a prison planet? It's up to you how you visualize it. It's all if you call it a prison, you can call it whatever you want, as long as if you want to escape, because sometimes calling it a prison, but then also saying you were going to escape, that's a big deal. So you can call it whatever you want. A school, it has versions of that, yes. But the prison aspect of it, now you can think of it as a prison like you can't get out, or think of it prison that you can leave. You will find a way out. So there's two different things there. If you just feel like it's a prison where you just can't leave, yeah, you're gonna be here for a long time. Some feel like they deserve it. They feel like they haven't been a good human. They need to keep coming back. Yeah, some don't like the lower astral realms because here some feel like they have more power here than the astral realms. The astral realms, the lower dimensions, you get tortured there. But here they can be king if they know what they're doing. They become master of this reality. And they get others to do their bidding too. Like a CEO of a company can manipulate those employees so they can be boss and keep that system going. And sometimes that can be a service to others if the company is doing good. So, but yeah, a corporation can be a soul trap. Also, a soul recycling. Like a corporation can just grab any energy just to create what it is. So you can see a corporation and you clear out the physical facade and see like a reptilian facade there, a reptilian creation or a zeta or so on. Even the fallen angels have their own businesses here. A lot of that's in the medical field. Like your World War II has a lot of fallen angels that was part of the Nazi party. They just feel like they're doing the greater good of God. They had power, and they're just, yes, they lost their minds. So that's just... Greece use the higher self consciousness of Klaus Schwab, a narcissist being, a being that can feel like it can do no wrong. Some of you have been in those positions, so it feels too bad. That's why you can identify it, or you've worked with somebody like that on some level. So this is a soul that's most likely on his last incarnation, but wants to continue the agendas. Due to they feel like humans don't know any better. So somebody has to control the narrative. So not to feel victimized by those words, but it's up to humanity to take its power back. Now, how do you do that? Yes, not easily. As many would like to just snap their fingers and life changes overnight. But you have a contract here for what but it's on how you deal with your contract, yes, many contracts are just against, like, they shouldn't even be happening. You can say it's like half the population. But many here are not aware they can break those contracts. So this elite feels like as if they are guardians of the planet, the forefathers of it, technically gods almost. But they know they have flaws. They're not invulnerable. They have issues themselves. But some of them feel as if humanity just can't figure itself out. So somebody has to be its leader. Of course, also has repercussions to the arrogance that some of these elites have. And they know how to battle that, so they have to check themselves. Or not check themselves. Well, to not turn into like a Hollywood celebrity or just destroying themselves. So they have to be careful. But they can easily just follow that route. Well, you feel like the controlling energies of others. You can just use people so easily. And men do get obsessed with that. So is moderation. It's really a humbleness to treat others well. That's how you stay in power. Soros, does he treat others well? Not really. It's just that he has enough power to protect himself due to the negativity. So he's just bringing a lot of negativity to the earth. And he's being rewarded by it. Obviously, and there's some good he does, not a whole lot though. But this will, in this life is like he's given like a pass to be the way he is, but the next life he won't have that. So in this life he has everything going for him. Next life will probably be the opposite from what we're seeing. But for Klaus Schwab, he's careful on how he uses words. Yes, he doesn't want to be cursed after this life. He's a lot of times make this however you want. He feels like he is warning people, maybe acting like a bit of a dictator, but also letting others know so they can free themselves of this. So there is, a middle ground there. It might not be the best energy, but he's also there to, give you a hint of, you don't have to continue as this. Of course, on a collective level, collectively, if people talked more metaphysically about just reality itself, which many are still, that would be, yes, very educational, probably out there. Well, if you start talking about the astral realms, less they're afraid of it, and the manipulations can no longer be as strong as it is now. Yes, the aliens, the more it's brought out, yes, crazy people talking about aliens publicly, but also those that are professional to just want to explore it. And now how far would they get with is another story, but over time, humanity matures with certain subject matters where it's no longer afraid of it. So it depends on those with the power. Of course, you can talk about aliens and all, for example, and ruin their careers, but some can escape that. So if it's all on how you go about it, if you're just careful with society, because you can really wreck society very easily with the wrong words. But if you just want to explore these things, put a question mark there. We're not sure, but we want to investigate this. That gives you a bit of a pass. And instead of just telling everybody, yes, it's creatures drinking blood and all of that. And yeah, it's not going to do you any good with that. But if you're wanting to explore it, interview people and all that, and take a more positive voice of it, just let humans digest it slowly instead of just fast forward and there's a mothership and some of you have aspects there. People was like, okay, that's a little bit much for some of us. So that's